Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Muriel. This is That's So by Muriel. I apologize, it's been so long. Yeah, it's just been long. I got a lot of things going on with me, but today I wanted to talk about a movie I went to see. For those of y'all who don't know, I just love historical pieces. I love a lot of stuff about really about English history. I don't know what it is. I watch a lot of history about a lot of things. I'm really drawn to wars, history of wars, more specifically World War One and World War Two. But I love everything centered around like monarchies, empires, aristocracy, nobility. So, and saying that, I just went and saw Downton Abbey, A New Era, and I'm giving you guys my review on the movie. So stay tuned. Okay, y'all. So for those who don't know, I am a huge Downton Abbey fan. You know how in some households people will throw on, like in American households, people will throw on Law and Order and just let it play in the background, or they'll throw on one of the shows like Criminal Minds. They'll just let it play in the background. For me, that show is Downton Abbey. I put Downton Abbey on when I'm cleaning the house. Anything I'm doing, Downton Abbey is playing on my television. It's just one of those shows when I do watch TV. I'm not a big TV person. I have very few shows that I actually watch, but that's one that just about every day that's playing on my television. And so I was so excited when I found out they were coming out with another movie. They came out with one, I think it was like in 2019. Loved it, loved everything about it. And I just found out actually in March that they were coming out with this one. So I was so happy that I didn't have long to wait. So yeah, I bought early premiere tickets. I actually saw it 2 days ago. I paid for early premiere tickets because, I was just that excited. So for those who don't know, Downton Abbey is about a family, the Crawley family. They're part of the aristocracy in England, and it was based, the show started with the sinking of the Titanic. And from then on, we follow the Crawley family, Cora Crawley, Robert, who is Lord Grantham, and they have 3 daughters, Mary, Edith, and Sybil. And we just follow their lives and the lives of their servants who live in the home. But I think they live down. I think the servants live. I don't know exactly how it's set up. I know they work downstairs, but their living quarters, I believe, were like, I don't know. I don't exactly know where the living quarters were. I'm believing they're downstairs as well. But it shows you interactions between the two families. And some critics have said, which I can believe it to be true, that the interaction with the servants and the family is not really realistic of how it was in those days. But y'all, it's a show, it's entertainment. I was so excited to go see this movie, and it did not disappoint. I actually believe it was better than the first movie. Yeah, I laughed. It has that humor that you have to catch it. Like it's just like, I'm not gonna say it's not dry humor, but they just have this humor in their shows that you just have to catch it. You have to know what they're referencing in order to catch the humor in things that they say. I understand a lot of the events and the time references that they do and throughout the series, and I understand how laws were. I know what the laws were back then and what you could and couldn't do, what was frowned upon. So many things that's going on now was frowned upon. Like, it was just not considered polite. It was immoral. It was a lot of things like now that people would be hung for. Like in one episode, one of the ladies she was like, she thought Bates would swing for murdering his wife. Like, it was such a different time. But the new movie, I think they mentioned that we're going to go into the 1930s. So that was one of the statements someone made. I think they were talking about the movie going into the 1930s having sound and not just silent movies. So I'm thinking Downton Abbey was a new era was like around 1929. Y'all, one thing I noticed about it is the fashion. Mary dresses, even dowager the dowager's dresses, like she still dressed the way she dressed kind of remind me of the way they dressed in the I almost want to say the Victorian era. And the way the girls dress is more in the 1920s during the flapper period. Mary's clothes in this new movie were I just keep saying I love it. I was just so excited to see it. So the movie is about the dowager. She inherits a villa in France from a rendezvous she had with a gentleman years before she even had Robert. And the gentleman left her the villa in his will. His wife was upset about this, but she had whatever rendezvous she had with him. It was prior to him even meeting his wife, but he left that villa to the dowager. And if you meet the dowager, you can kind of tell, we learned about the dowager in the series that she had another little rendezvous with a Russian gentleman. So, it kind of can tell you that she was probably very, very flattering woman in her day, in her prime. And so some of the family members, they go out to the villa because they're invited by the son of the guy who passed away. They're invited there, and they go, and the premise of it is that the son believes that Robert is his brother because of the time frame that the dowager spent the rendezvous or whatever with his father. He believes that Robert is his brother, his older brother. Back at the house, they're filming a movie at Downton, and it's going into the era where they're moving away from just sound, from silent movies to sound, and it shows how sound was made for movies back in that day. Like, it was interesting to see, and through circumstances, members of the household, including the servants, end up being part of the production of the movie, part of the cast and everything. Their lives continue as it did in the series. But everybody, and one thing about Downton, they give a storyline. Everybody has a storyline, which I like, even if it's what I noticed at the beginning of the movie, it seemed to kind of move real fast. Like they will be talking about something in one scene, and then the next scene they'll they'll talk about an issue or something they're having in one scene, and then the next scene it's like the issue is resolved, or like, I don't know, it just seemed like it was moving kind of fast to me. I was like, dang, they already talking about, like, I don't know, it just seemed like it was moving fast to me at first. But I was watching something years ago, and I think in the comment section, because I read a lot of comment sections and a lot of videos. I watch a lot of videos from people who talk about English culture and a lot of English culture, especially a lot of their TV programming. And they were saying some of the people in the comment sections were saying that the English don't let storylines drag out for days and months and stuff like how we do on shows or series. They like handle things quickly. And I noticed even during Downton, during the series, they handle things quick. Like a storyline didn't drag out for they didn't really let a storyline drag out for like 5-6 episodes for a whole season. It kind of got handled like within 3 to 4 episodes. It progressed very quickly. So I was like, okay, well, this is how, they do it. So, but yeah, so the dowager, they find, when it boils down, the dowager, Robert is not the French gentleman's son. It's little jokes are made here and there about the French, especially by Carson, who is the former butler. One thing I noticed that when Carson gave up his role of being a butler, it was because what he called it was the palsy. He was having the shakiness in his hands. But in this show, it was no mention of that. And he actually gets asked by Mary to become the butler again to help train a new butler because Barrow is leaving with the actor of the movie that's being produced. They kind of formed a little connection. And, you know, Barrow is one of my favorite characters on the show, y'all. I like Barrow. And even when he was being underhanded and not evil, but even when he was being underhanded, I like Barrow, and I still like him, and my heart goes out to him. Because on the series, it's revealed that Barrow is a gay man, and you know, in those days, they kill you for being gay. Like it was illegal; they would kill you for being gay. And I can just imagine growing up. I can just imagine in those days being who you are and having to hide it because it could be your death. Like, well, you know what I'm saying? I can imagine. That's just one of the reasons that you could end up being killed. But it's just, in the first movie, Barrow met a gentleman and they became, you know, involved. But in this movie, the gentleman got married, and you know, they say that's what people were doing, and they're probably still doing that, but people were doing that to kind of cover up who they were because they didn't want to be found out. People are still doing that now. I don't know why, but well, I know why. But anyway, so he meets, and apparently I have to research this because apparently in America at the time, the way the actor was making it seem like it wasn't illegal in America. The actor was an American actor. Well, actually he was British. He moved to America, was in America for 10 years. And but you know, he made it like the way he made it seem like it wasn't illegal in America. People just lived their lives and who they were. Maybe they kept it under wraps, but it wasn't so much illegal. They didn't come out and say, you know, I'm a gay man, I'm a gay woman, but it wasn't illegal. So I'm gonna have to research that to see if it was illegal in America at that time. But he invited Branson to come and, in so many words, work for him, be with him, live with him, I guess love with him, whatever. So Barrow agrees to go. I was like, why go, Barrow? But I understand. Because, you know, a lot of people say they don't think another Downton movie should be made. But I think it could be another movie. Even though in the movie, spoiler alert, even though Dowager dies in this movie, y'all, I was in the theater just crying. The tears were just falling. And I was like, it almost like, why now? Like, in the first movie, you knew she said, you know, she didn't have long. She has, you know, got news from the doctor and everything. But I want her to be in every, it's like I want her to be in every, whatever is made from here on out. I need her humor. I need her humor in every movie. But yeah, she dies, so I don't know if we'll get another movie. They say this is the last one. I was hoping to see how the family coped after the stock market crash of 29. This movie must have been made before the stock market crash, because the stock market crash, even though it, you know, it's an American stock market or whatever, or not American, but even though, you know, how it affected America, it affected other countries as well. So I was hoping that we can maybe see, or even up to World War II. Like, I love learning everything about World War II, and just to see how that affected the family. Like, and that when World War II go on, this family, it would have been, I said this happened in 29. I think World War II started in 39? Events started that led up to the events started that led up to World War II were right after World War I, but I think it was 39 or 40. Let me look it up. When England declared war on Germany. after they invaded Poland. Yeah, 1939. So yeah, that would be like 10 years in the future. I would like to see how it goes 10 years from now. Maybe even 16 years from now, after the war, 16 years from the starting point of where they are now, 16, 17 years at the end of World War II. Like, I would like to see how everything goes. The children to be all grown up. Master George will be the well, I don't know if he'll be the Earl, because I think the former Earl would have to pass away for the next one to become the Earl. So he wouldn't be, I would hope that Robert wouldn't pass away in like 16 years. I think on the show, he's probably only in his maybe 50s. But I know the lifespan and life expectancy was much less back then. So anywho, I'm jumping the gun because I just love the show. If any of you can relate. And sometimes I have a hard time with like keeping my thoughts together. But I really like the movie. I really like the clothing. Some of the main characters from the series seem to be more supporting actors. In this last movie, even though everybody had their storyline, some of them just seemed to be like supporting characters. I love the servants. I love the servants. I love Anna and Bates' storyline. In the series, it was kind of getting on my nerves because it was like first his wife died, then this guy died, and first y'all had Bates in jail, now you got Anna in jail. Like, it just seemed to kind of be repetitive. Like y'all were just trying to make up a storyline to give them. But overall, everything worked out for them. Everything always works out for everybody on Downton. That's the funny thing. Like, everything always works out for everybody. Well, no, let me say that because Sybil passed away. It didn't work out for her. That's another event that had me just crying. And every time I watch it, I cry. Like, I just, y'all. Anyway. Downton Abbey, A New Era. This is from a perspective of a fan. I'm not a critic. I'm not, I'm like very professional when it comes to like reviewing movies. I just speak from as a viewer, as a fan. It was better than the last movie. I'm one of those fans who I am pro another movie. Like, I'm all for it. Some fans were like, just leave it where it's at. I feel like there could be another movie. I feel like it seemed like they paced them like 3 to 4 years apart, but I feel like there could be another movie, probably push it up past maybe towards the beginning of World War II or past World War II. Just let us see how things were in the 30s and the 30s and 40s, how things changed in England. Of course, me being a Black woman, I know there weren't going to be many characters that look like me in the movie. I'm fine with that. We really didn't play a role in aristocracy, so I'm fine with that. I still enjoyed the movie for what it is. I enjoyed Downton for what it is. So that's my review. I try not to give away too much for those who didn't watch it. I was excited like it was a new season of Game of Thrones coming on or something. But anywho, so y'all, this is my review. I'm Muriel, that's so by Muriel. Let's get down in the comment section. Let's just chit chat about it, because if y'all are a fan like how I'm a fan, I can talk about Downton all day. Not all day, but I can have conversations about Downton. I can just have dialogue about Downton and just be just as happy as I can be, because I don't find many people in my circle who really like, that type of programming. I have maybe just one friend who likes it. The rest of my friends don't even know what I'm talking about when I talk about Downton Abbey. So just to have other community have people who possibly look like me, who don't look like me, get down in the comment section. Let's have a little dialogue, talk about things we liked in the show. Let's talk about the Dowager and her quickness with the words, how she just have those one-liners for you. Let's talk about any of the characters. Who is your favorite character? Would you like to see another Downton movie? Or do you think this is it? We don't need another. So anyway, y'all, I'm Muriel. Thank you for watching, and I will be back with you guys with another video. The next one will probably be more based on nursing, to tell you what's going on with my life. It's been a few changes as far as with nursing. So yeah, guys, talk to you later. Bye.